What it is, guys? This is Shaan from Karbon Performance, and this is my 2003 Mitsubishi Evo 8. So this is my third Evo I've owned in the past probably 5 years. First one being Evo 9 RS. Sold that a couple months later, ended up buying an Evo 8. Sold that. It was maybe 2 years after I picked this one up. More of a car purchased on a whim, and I went through hell with it. This car was literally bought on a whim. It wasn't even like I want an Evo 8. I was just like, I kind of want to buy an Evo 8, and then it worked out. It wasn't even like planned. Do the whole thing. When I first bought the car, there was red seats. It was all mixed matched. White in the engine bay. The car barely ran. I think it was running on maybe 3 cylinders. Ran super lean. It was neglected. No, it was definitely a 20-footer. One of those cars where from 20 feet away it looked halfway decent, but in person it was rough. Water leaks inside. From the pillars, oil leaks everywhere, like countless places. Fuel was leaking, air suspension was god awful. It was definitely neglected. The car was, yeah, it was a piece of shit. I guess the only thing that's really original from when I first bought it would probably be the actual block itself. Everything around, surrounding the engine bay itself, from the turbo, the manifold, even down to like every single piece of hardware. Bolts, nuts, everything. Pretty much swapped everything out, more or less because it was all rusty. Grounds were missing in the engine, so when it idle, sometimes it wouldn't even start. The starter was shot. I was struggling for dear life. I mean, it was on 3-piece wheels. Never heard of the brand. The barrels, they were cracked, so they were repaired. They were welded. They weren't balanced. Suspension was leaking. It was missing a lot of the bolts from the top hats, so I think it was 1 bolt holding on each. It's a huge list. Exhaust leaks from pretty much every flange. The Brembo brakes that were on there were actually leaking from a few places. Oh, so when I first got the car itself, I guess what I wanted to change first was actually the paint. I did not like purple. It grew on me over time. So the first thing I actually did with the Evo was actually dismantle literally everything in the engine bay. So we stripped it down to where it was just pretty much the long block, and pretty much started working around that. Took the whole turbo kit off, downpipe exhaust, everything. Broke down pretty much every single caliper, brake system, everything, down to just the hub itself. And we started pretty much sanding and painting and repainting everything. Because of the leaks that were on the pillar, water was actually trickling down into the main fuse box. So when the car was off, you would hear the relays and the fuses going berserk. I went from airlift performance. More or less I kind of got away from that more because it was so jank to where I didn't want to have air suspension for a little while. I wanted to track the car. That was pretty much what it was built for. Ended up going with Fortunato 500 coilovers, and kind of just stuck with those. The turbo kit was made by Evo Fabrications out in California. There's a completely custom turbo manifold. I don't know if he's still making turbo kits. Ended up finding him on a Facebook forum and just ended up working out a deal with him during the pandemic, actually. Before Jimmy moved up, I heard his car was making a little bit of power, so I couldn't stay in the high 300s. So ended up going with that, pairing it with a Precision 6062 Gen 2 ball bearing turbo. First time on the dyno, I believe we made high fives, close to 590. 590? It was definitely pushing his limits. We ran out of fuel, started running a little bit leaner than we wanted, so we turned it back down to about 29 PSI. Now it makes about low fives on pump. So we work with ETS, Extreme Turbo Systems. So I'm running their 4-inch intercooler along with their titanium intercooler piping. So I have a lot of titanium in the car, from every single bolt to pretty much the small accessories. I went with JDC Customs and RK Titanium. So I have a Fat House Fab oil catch can. I have a half radiator from Clearrad. I believe it's the one out of an EK. HKS cam gears. We have HKS timing belt. More or less because I wanted that purple to tie in with the rest of the car. Block has Y-scope pistons, manually rods, stock crank, built head, porta polished, and it has a nice chop at idle. Here I have Sparker Chrono seats, IRP, short shifter, rear seat delete, carbon fiber rear seat delete. We have a half cage.
Alright guys, you made it this far into the video. Here's the giveaway. This plushie pillow and this Evo. I'm just kidding. You're just getting the plushie pillow. But all you gotta do is write I'm in and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's it. If you guys want this plushie pillow, all you gotta write I'm in and you're entered in to win this plushie pillow. And if you want, watch till the end of the video. There's one more giveaway coming.
So 3 favorite things with the car. Definitely the wheels. CCW Classics, done in a satin black with a gloss black lip and barrel. Definitely the turbo kit. Third, probably say the shifter, honestly. Made the car a lot more enjoyable to drive. The car is definitely not for the faint of heart. You gotta pick and choose what days you wanna drive it. I don't drive it every day. I barely ever drive it. For the days that I do drive it, I wanna feel the rowdiness. I wanna feel the boost kick in. It's very aggressive, very loud, very obnoxious. Aside from that, I mean, it's definitely an enjoyable car. There's a reason why I bought 3 in the past, this being the 3rd one, and I couldn't imagine not having an Evo in my lineup. So we're gonna see we added Carbonetics front bumper and fenders in forged carbon fiber, custom made for the car, and then we added the CCW Classics. There's been thoughts about going for more power, doing double pumper setup, bigger turbo, but honestly, more power, more problems. We're perfectly content with the power that it makes, the way the car feels, and so far we've probably done hundreds of pulls, if not close to a couple thousand pulls, and the car's held up. It might sweat some oil, but you just keep adding it. I think one of the least favorite mods to the car is definitely the roll center adjust kit from Whiteline. Car originally was supposed to be a track car, but ended up kind of making more power for that, too much power for that, and it's just a fun, rowdy weekend driver pretty much. Roll center adjust kit on the highway is just a nightmare. Steers from left to right. Thoughts are to remove that pretty soon, go factory. I want to go back to the factory ones. I hate that. When you punch it, you ever notice like it goes whoa, and the car, like it definitely steers left and right. I hate that. Torque steer is just on an all-wheel drive car. It's stupid. I'm probably not going to do any more power mods at the moment. I'm perfectly content with the power that it makes. Low 500s, the car's a blast to drive. Thank you so much for watching Carbon Kings, and I gotta go.
Alright guys, we made it to the end of the video. One more giveaway. It's going to be a hoodie and a hat of your choosing. All you got to do, message us on our Snapchat. Say, let's go. That's it. Message us on our Snapchat for your second chance at a giveaway of any hoodie you want, any hat you want, and who knows, maybe we'll give away something bigger on the next video. Thank you guys for the support, and we'll see you next time.